the other pulley, and on this pulley the belt drive will be wound up. It will be running on this, and you can see this. Due to its rotation, what happens? Due to the rotation of the driving pulley, this belt will be running over the driven pulley, and the driven pulley will be run by using this belt. One has to clearly understand there must be enough friction between the pulley and the belt. If there is enough friction between the pulley and the belt, then only it can rotate and it can carry this. Otherwise, it is not possible. So this whole system, belt and drive system, will be working based on the friction between the belt and the pulley. And due to its rotation, you can see this. If it is rotating in the clockwise direction, then this driven pulley will be carried by this. That means the tight side will be this side. This will be a slack side. This will be tight side and this will be slack side. And due to continuous rotation, what happens? The portion of the belt which was in this tight side will be going to the slack side, and which was in the tight side, it will go to the slack side. So due to this, what happens? The belt will become loosened. That will be called as creep in the belt. That I'll be discussing later. And this is about the flat belt. Since the cross section of this belt is rectangular shape, so this is called as a flat belt. And there are many type of belts available. If the cross section of the belt is V shape, then it is called V shape or V belt drive. Okay, and another one is also there. It is a synchronous or timer belt, and another one is there. It is a ribbed belt. So totally many types are there, and among them 4 important topics are important for us. One is a flat belt drive, V belt drive, a synchronous or timer belt drive, and the ribbed belt drive. Please look here. I have shown the different belts I'll be showing here in this. Before I get into the model, just I'll be showing you this. Okay. Just I'll be showing you this. Kindly look into this properly. And this is called a flat belt drive. Since the cross section of this belt is flat or rectangular shape, so it is called flat belt drive. And V belt drive, which will be having the V grooves, the pulley, both the driver and the driven pulleys will be having the V grooves. In these V grooves, a endless belt will be running. It will be trapezoidal in cross section. The trapezoidal cross section is called the V belt. And another one, the corrugated type, you can see that just like a spur gear teeth we can find on the surface of this both pulleys and the belt inside portion of the belt. This is called a synchronous or timer belt. Synchronous or timer belt. You can see in most of the electrical and electronic devices, there are very miniature electrical and electronic devices. Therein, if any rotating arrangements to be done, there they will be using the synchronous belts. Okay, and then the ribbed belt, this will be having the grooves along its length. It is perpendicular to the length is a synchronous or timer belt. Along its length, it will be a ribbed belt. So try to remember these 4 important types: a flat belt, V belt, synchronous or a timer belt, and the ribbed belt drives. These are the belt drives we'll be having. Now, how this belt drives will be working? How the belt drives will be working? Let me see this. So the driver pulley in normal, almost all the normal cases, you can see that a smaller pulley will be a driver pulley and the bigger pulley will be a driven pulley. Okay, this will be fixed on the motor shaft and this will be connected to the shaft which has to be driven. Now please look into this. If it is running in the clockwise direction, a clockwise direction, if it is running, then the pulley will be pulling this. The belt will be pulling this driving pulley in this direction, so that this will be a tight side, and this will become a slack side. If it is rotating in the counterclockwise direction, anti-clockwise direction, you can see that while it is running like this, then this belt will be driving this driving pulley, so that this side will become a tight side and this side will become a slack side. Tight side is that the tension in the tight side will be greater than the slack side. A slack side just it has to run and it has to come back to this position. So due to this, what happens? Due to the tightness, the tension will be created, and due to the slack, there will not be tension. So definitely there will be tensions in both sides. So you can say the tension in the tight side can be taken as T1 and tension in the slack side can be taken as T2. Always the T1 will be greater than T2. Okay, one thing. The second one, as I told you, here you can see that this is the contact of the belt with the pulleys. You can see this portion which is in contact with the pulleys. Okay, and due to this contact only, and there will be enough friction between the belt and the pulley so that the grip will be there, it will rotate. If it is very smooth, if it cannot have any kind of friction, then it will be very difficult to carry these pulleys. So always there must be enough friction between the pulley and the belt. Okay, and the drives will be quite similar to the gear drives. In case of gear drives, what happens? The gear modules will be there, the teeth will be there, the teeth will be engaging together to drive themselves. There will be smaller distance between the centers. Whenever there is a larger center distance between the driver and the driven shaft, up to 10 meters length, that time we are going to offer the belt drive systems. Of course, the belt drives are not positive drives. In the previous class, we have studied what is the meaning of positive drives. Please do not think that negative drive it is. There is no word called negative drive. The positive drive is the one which will be having a perfect velocity ratio. If the driver pulley is rotating n rotations, then what would be the rotations of the driven pulley? We can easily calculate. That is called as the positive drive. And here it is not a positive drive, because what happens after using for a certain time, the belt will become loosened because of, I told you, the tension, the slack side and the loosened side. Due to this, what happens? The belt will be increasing its length. So due to this, there will not be enough friction between the belt and the pulleys. So the velocity rotation cannot be maintained in this. Okay, this is one. Okay, and kindly remember, the belt drives will be used where the center distance will be more, and up to 10 meters length the belt drives can be used, and these are called non-positive drives because the velocity ratio cannot be maintained properly. And these belt drives will be running based on the friction only. If there is enough friction between the belt and the pulleys, then it will be driving. Otherwise, it will not be possible. Now, let me have the types of belts. As I told you just now, the flat belt drive, the rectangular shape cross section belt will be there, and the V belt drive, the pulley will be having the V grooves, of course the trapezoidal V grooves, and the ripped belts, and the synchronous or the timer belts or the toothed belts. Okay, you can see here I have shown. The first one will be showing you the flat belt drive, the flat belt drive, which will be not having anything. It is a endless belt which will be running on the pulleys, and of course this will not be available as per the required length. It will be available in the open length, and how much ever the length is required, we are going to cut down and we are going to rivet it. We are going to make the riveting and it is not possible in the ribbed belt drives and the V belt drives and the synchronous or the timer belt drives. These are available to the sizes based on the requirement. We are going to ask in the stores, this much length I required, they will be giving you. Okay, so these are the 4 important types of the belt drives: flat belt drive, V belt drive, synchronous or timer belt drive, and the ribbed belt drives. Now, we'll try to look into the velocity ratio of the flat belt drive. Flat belt drives. Okay, among these flat belt drive, you can see that there are two basic methods by which we can use these flat belt drives, the arrangements. One is open flat belt drive and another one is a cross flat belt drive. I'll be showing you how this open belt drive and the cross belt drive will be there. I'll be showing here only. You can see. See, look here. One can able to understand here. This is a open belt drive. Open belt drive in the sense both the pulleys will be rotating in the similar direction. If it is rotating in the clockwise direction, driver pulley, the driven pulley also will be rotating in the similar direction. And in the case of this cross belt drive, both will be rotating in the opposite direction because the belt will be wounded over in the crossed manner. You can see this. It will be wounded over in the cross manner. And this is due to certain important three reasons. One reason is that whenever the speed is very high, the torque has to be transmitted is maximum. That time you are going to offer for the cross belt drives. The cross belt drives, you can see that due to the cross, what happens, the contact between the belt and the drive will be increased. For the same center distance, for the similar type of geometrical positioning, you can see that the contact between the cross belt drive and the open belt drive you can able to visualize. The cross belt drive will be having maximum contact with the belt, the pulleys, so that as how there will be maximum contact, maximum grip will be there and maximum friction will be there. Due to this, it can able to carry the driving pulley along with it. One thing. Okay, and the second important thing is that whenever I want to run the driving pulley in the opposite direction, the driver pulley is rotating in the one direction and driving pulley is rotating in the similar direction in case of open belt drive. In case of the cross belt drive, you can see that whenever you require to run or drive the driving pulley in the opposite direction, there is no other way. We have to go for the cross belt drives. Second one. Okay, these are the important reasons for which we are going to have the open belt drives and the cross belt drives. You can see this. Okay, and you can see whenever the length of the belt is smaller, when the distance between the center distance between the driver pulley and the driven pulley is smaller, that time you are going to have the open belt drives. Otherwise, we have to go for the cross belt drives. So one have understood what is the meaning of open belt drive and the cross belt drive.